Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody from Tallahassee, Florida. And this week was definitely a jam-packed week. And thank you all for being here. I have heard that people are in the courtroom. I'm not sure what's going on. I just left the meeting for jury, the jury instructions, and I don't think they've done that yet, but they kind of went over with Rashbaum and Kate Myers some of the things, and I took some notes. But first, I want to introduce somebody as a special guest. I have my mother on the phone from Israel, and she has some things that she wants to say. Let me know if you can hear. And sidebar, you need to say a prayer for Israel. She just heard bombs going off, and I want to put her on the live right now because she has some things to say about charLIE. And okay, Mom, you there?
Yeah,
all right,
here.
Speak up,
okay?
Everyone. Yeah, she has some things to say. Go ahead, Mom.
Oh, well, I was very disgusted by arrogant charLIE. He's so drugged up. He's not the same person that we've heard on the calls, on these wiretaps. He is a totally drugged up shadow of himself. And he's trying to pass for this very tall, white-fingered, no calluses, never lifted a shovel, mild-mannered dentist who's never done a lick of work in his life and who can lie through his teeth, and right in front of Dan's parents and sister sitting in the first row. I mean, of all the insults to their grief and to their trials, he's perpetrating these fictitious delusions that are trying to confuse the jury. It just makes me furious that everybody has to listen to this twisted circuitry of BS that he and his lawyer are trying to confuse everyone with. And who would ever latch on to that kind of a defense? I'm just sickened by this crime family that is trying to get away with murder. He had the audacity to say to the prison driver who drove him to the courthouse, are you the one who's going to take me back to Miami when I'm free? Or something to that effect. I mean, such arrogance. These entitled people are just disgusting to everything that we've been raised with, our values. And I sit south of the Markel family that lives in Tel Aviv, and these are people who are probably also watching from their internet, hook up to this horrible trial. I think Georgia did a good job finally getting off this BS line of delusional questioning that she was forced into, and finally getting her teeth into something real to leave with the jury. And I hope they have a lasting impression of who's the real charLIE. Will the real charLIE please stand up? Is it this drugged out shadow of a man, an intense liar, or is the real charLIE the one who belongs in prison for life? Let's send him there.
Yes. Yay, Mommy. That's my mom. And everyone send her a prayer. Prayers for Israel. And also, she wants everybody to know, please write your senators and your congressmen. What is it, Mom? Who do you want them to write?
Well, I heard from a very reliable source that knows a lot in the U.S., and two things. One thing, they have hired hundreds of recruiters to train military recruiters intensely for 6 days so they can go all across the U.S. and recruit military to start this third world war. We don't need Americans on the ground here. Okay, so first thing, write your senators, write your congressmen.
Write the senators to limit Hamas from entering
we
the United States.
We don't want to send our boys to war. Look what happened in Afghanistan. Look what happened in Vietnam. Israel can handle this. The only thing we need would be bullets and self-defense things. We don't need manpower. The second thing is, the next thing you're going to hear is this fake humanitarian effort to put Gazans in the U.S., just like they're letting people run across our U.S. border and turn the vote for this 2024.
Hold on. I just will have to urge all of you, please write your senators. Please tell them to vet any of the prisoners of war into the United States. That's all. But let me go quickly to my notes from this meeting. And I just heard Judy is in the courthouse. I'm not sure what's going on. Judy, if you could write in the comments below what is actually going on. And there was the lawyer who was at this meeting for the instructions for the jury to make their verdict. I overheard a conversation with him and Daniel Rashbaum that they asked if he was also an appellate lawyer, and then they joked and laughed that he was going to, if Katie was going to get out of jail, and they all kind of chuckled and laughed about that. And then in the meeting, they asked if there was any objections to the charges, and they read the charges out. And then the moment that I wanted to talk about was when you could hear an audible gasp from charLIE when they said guilty of murder. It was almost as though he heard it, like guilty of first-degree murder or not guilty. But then him and Rashbaum just like did an audible gasp. I mean, it was so real. And then my mom actually, she said, "Is he that stupid? Did he not know what this meeting was?" And so I kind of agreed with that. Like, it just felt like he almost thought that this was like some verdict. Like, he just went through the emotions of a verdict being read. And then they asked if there was any objection to the intent of the crime, and there was no objection. And then they said that one witness had talked to a lawyer, and so he couldn't actually find out who that witness was. So that was kind of a non-issue. And then they said something about Katie not having her lawyer at the proffer. And so I'm sure Katie's trying to get some sort of appeal for that they just took advantage of her and she did like a false confession or something. And then, they're going to give all the exhibits to the jurors, like the wiretaps. This could take a while. If these jurors want to re-listen to these wiretaps, this could take definitely into next week. And then they wanted also this weekend evidence of any mistrial. So anything about juror misconduct or anything like that. But let's see what's going on with your question. So I think Charles is a lifelong liar and a manipulator. I think my mom definitely said it best. She just let out all her frustrations, and I'm so proud of her for doing all these wiretaps with me, being so brave in Israel. We were just on the phone and bombs were going off, and I'm a firm believer in being very brave, and my mother is definitely one of the bravest people I know. And hugs and prayers to Israel, hugs and prayers to my mom, and she sees right through charLIE's BS. And then they said that I'm true. I'm not fancy. I'm true. So yeah, I've spent some great time with Fancy and Judy and Katie Cool Lady, and we're just like a little we had like a little ladies' night the other night. It was so fun, and thank you to Katie she called it like our we had like a little Sex in the City night. I'm probably not even supposed to say that, but like it was so fun. And there was John Steinbeck was our part of the ladies crew. It was fun. Okay. All right. So my mom also dropped some tea also that I was talking to one of the corrections officers as I was leaving the courtroom yesterday, as I stormed out of the courtroom and did like a mass exodus, and we staged a walkout. I talked to one of the corrections officer, and I just said, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. This is absolutely crazy. And he said, on the way to taking charLIE from the jail, charLIE asked him, is this the same van that I'm going to be driven back to South Florida in? I mean, I passed that by everyone. They thought he was joking. I tended to think I think he might have been serious. Like, I think he might have been dead serious and saying, what are the logistics when I get home? Am I going to fly home? Am I going to get a little JetBlue ticket? Who's going to take me once they take these shackles off? I mean, I was flabbergasted. I actually texted that to everyone that I know on this case. It's just amazing information that I found. And then also I was overhearing some conversations with, Rashbaum and the lawyers talking beforehand. It was so kind of cool to be there, like one of the only people in the courtroom. I honestly have no clue what's going on right now. I was told by mentor that everything's done today. I have no clue what's going on in the courtroom. Maybe they're reading something to the jurors, but I had honestly had enough. I saw Ruth, Shelley, and Phil walk out of the courtroom, and Ruth asked me if they were streaming that juror information, and I guess the little meeting that I got to sit in on, and I said, yeah, it was live streamed, and she was kind of amazed by that, because I didn't even know if I could go into the courtroom. I asked mentor, I saw him in the hallway, I said, can I go in there? And sure enough, there's just 3 of us in there. So charLIE was sounding like Ray Romano yesterday, but I didn't notice it today. Yeah, something changed. His doctor maybe switched up his prescriptions on some medicine that wasn't really making him enthusiastic or believable yesterday. Maybe there's some kind of pill that he could take that makes him sound believable, like a nice person. All right, Pauline, your mom, it sounds lovely. Yes, she is. She is such a great mom. She is so wonderful. In fact, I found out that my great grandparents are from the same place that part of the Markel family heritage is from, in Lithuania. I don't even know if I should say that, but I found it really, really nice to kind of get to know them a little bit better and find, I guess that's why I care about this case so much. Just like a real bond. I have always felt drawn to this case. So pray for Israel. Your daughter is there, Jerry. Oh my God. I thought that you guys would maybe get a little frustrated. I hope that none of you are pro Palestine. Listen, we hope everyone stays safe in the Middle East, but thank you for supporting Israel. I'm not anti-Palestinian or some of the good people in Gaza, but there are definitely some bad people trying to get over here. I don't want to talk propaganda, but that's just a little bit on my mind right now. It's been a crazy month, and I talked to Ruth a little bit about it. I said, isn't this just an awful month? I mean, it could be great if we get a conviction next week. Let's pray for that. Pray for Israel. Pray for peace and a conviction for charLIE. All right. So we can't even afford to sink in by osmosis. The defense is a far reach. Yeah, this defense is such a reach. I mean, gosh, what do you call it when a quarterback throws, Hail Mary. Okay. Yeah, they're trying that Hail Mary, and we've all been talking about that theory for 2 years. I can't believe that they actually, for every little piece of evidence, he's been plotting and planning. I can't believe that he was so detail oriented. I mean, I kind of had my eyebrow raised a few times, whoa, he was fighting for his life. But I don't think it's gonna work, charLIE. Sorry. So let's see here. Georgia. Oh, got it. No, I think Georgia she did great. In fact, this guy is such a sociopath. If you've ever gone toe-to-toe with just a complete narcissist sociopath, you know that they are going to try to get you on your heels, try to make her question, which piece of evidence was that, Georgia? Or, just not answering the question, answering the questions with like a statement. I did not do, just like Wendy. And that's another thing my mom totally reiterated, just the Wendy playbook of acting, Wendy's school of acting. Oh, prayers for Mama. Thank you so much. Yeah, I kind of told a few people, I'm like, I'm really just trying to get through this season, get through this case has really helped to kind of soften things and given me an outlet. And I think that I'm glad that tomorrow or this weekend the jurors will think of doing the right thing, and that could be something good in everyone's life who follows this case. For your mom in Israel. Oh, she is going to be so happy. You guys are so sweet. So Judy is at the courthouse. Judy, I'm wondering what the heck is going on behind those closed doors. I mean, she knows the inside track. I was texting her. I was like, Judy, you're going to jump on my live. And then I tried to get good lighting in the lobby, and it just wasn't bad. And then I checked out the pool, and the pool was awesome. But then there were people there, and I just decided to do my live with my mom. And so she could just vent to you all. All right. Oh, that's not good enough. Oh dear. It's good to hear some of your thoughts. We'll have to see. I want to rewatch it, but I think that the overarching theme of the evidence, I think will have to be good enough. I don't think that they can do anything else. They put in his character evidence and the wiretaps. He had no family there. People were walking out. I'm hoping it's good enough. All right. So let me just scroll up here. So, oh, I like what you said, Jennifer. Pro-Israel. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, it's definitely not a zero-sum game. We hope that everyone's okay, but thank you for saying that, innocent, Israel was attacked, so it was just such a tragedy. And so this guy, this one male juror, all right, so yeah, this male juror, I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't think you have anything to worry about. He's just super animated. Like, he leans forward, he makes kind of like gangster faces. He's like a Donald Trump, like, he kind of gets animated. And don't worry at all. He's like highly into this case. And I think this is like his kind of 15 minutes of fame kind of thing. If it's a hung jury, I would definitely consider someone was planted. Oh, geez. Gosh, I hope you're wrong about that. Need some coffee. In Charlie's mind, he did nothing wrong. Well, the next thing that I'm working on is the text between Charlie and Katie, the I love you text. I mean, why on earth would somebody say I love you? Like, he was so coerced and under duress that he was just saying, I love you. Are you kidding me? So that I think that piece of evidence will get part of what will get a conviction. If Charlie beats this and I cannot see any scenario where he walks. Yeah, no, exactly. I think everyone is planning that it would probably be a hung jury, and he's not going to walk. That's just laughable. So Georgia was not hard hitting and didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe Sarah would be the one doing the cross, but I think that, like, Sarah is a lot like me. Like, I get really nervous sometimes and kind of like agitated when it comes to experience. I think that they probably talked about it, and I think that after rehearsing it, Georgia probably felt more relaxed, and that's going to go across better to a juror. And nothing against Sarah. I think that her passion and poise is getting better and better. I can't say anything. I hate public speaking. I literally hate it. If I'm in front of a group, you know, misspeaking or stumbling over words, just something that is a very, very difficult thing to do. So I think that Georgia deserves a lot of credit for how she articulated, how she took a step back. She left certain questions alone. She moved on and pivoted very well, in my opinion. So jurors left soon after 11:45. So it's all over for today. Yes, thank you, Judy. I'm glad that I slept through the whole morning and missed the entire thing, and I had to watch it. I'm not glad, guys. I thought that this would be this afternoon. I got all dressed up, did my hair and makeup, and then I'm sitting in there all by myself, but I got to overhear a funny conversation with Rashbaum, and I'm not going to share anything irrelevant that I heard or overheard. I just think I've got really nothing to say to charLIE's defense. I'm Team Markel. I just feel like, I mean, there's respect, but I do want to know one thing about Daniel Rashbaum, what his tennis player rating is, and I can probably find that out through Mentor Lawyer. That's all I really ever would want to ask to him. Yeah, so much hubris. charLIE with his false bravado, we just cannot stand him. He is a POS. So, let's see. Debbie says my daughter also cuts me off when I get political. Listen, Debbie. I'm at no disrespect to my mom. She knows that. I think she's still hanging out on the phone with me. Mom, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Were you mad when I cut you off?
Oh, no, I understood.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. All right, that's all. Thank you, Debbie. No, she wasn't mad. The real reason is I don't want any Hamas or Palestinians coming after me. Listen, I want peace in the Middle East. I want to be able to go back to Israel. I want to see Jerusalem. I want it to be good. I want there to be peace. That's all. She understands. So Paula Ellis says, I lived in Jerusalem for 3 years. Oh, this is so nice to hear so many ties to Israel with this case. And, you know, Dan Markel has a cousin who lives in Tel Aviv right now, and he didn't leave. And Phil said that he's still there, and many cousins are there, and they visit all the time. So, and Ruth and Phil seem to think, you know, yeah, that's what Jews do. They go live in Israel, they visit, and this war is not going to stop people from going. So anyway, so Sarah the pit bull would have been better. Well, okay, so yeah, I think that Sarah's a lot like me. My temperament, like when I hit a wall, I kind of don't move on from it. Like if in an argument with somebody, I would maybe get a little bit peeved or it would show. So with Sarah, it shows when she's peeved. I think that Georgia is like this stoic stone bull. She beats away at the getting to the truth. I think they just had a script. They needed to get through it. And whatever his answers were, I really don't think that they cared. I think they just wanted the jury to see how mean-spirited, how evil this crazy person is. All right, so let's see. So hi, Susan and Mom. Disappointed by the way Georgia crashed today. Oh, God, is that the word on the street? I hope not. You guys, listen. And gosh, I hope if Georgia's watching, I don't think they are, but if they do, I've heard good things, and from what I saw, I was not in the courtroom. I'm going to have to ask people who were in the courtroom what they thought. But reading in the chat, there was some kind of comments, but I don't think that this, having charLIE as a witness, he wasn't even really supposed to be a witness, so this was probably a crafted script that they had to come up with overnight. I bet you all of the FBI helped her, all of the, these probably weren't just her crafted questions. These were probably questions crafted by the people who have been involved in this case. This wasn't just Georgia, like, writing down. This was everybody. So, let's see. Helen Stewart says, I love your accessories. Well, I have a lot of librarian-esque clothing because I work a job that requires it. So thank you. I have a lot of clothes that fit in the courtroom. And I used to work in fashion, so I get some free stuff too. So Brooklyn says he created this elaborate story to counter every single piece of the state's evidence. Yes. And I'm amazed by it. In fact, I really want to watch it again because it's actually incredible to me how crafted, I hate to use the word well crafted, but just unfortunately, I think if this is one thing that makes one juror kind of scratch their head on one of the charges, it's going to be incredibly unfortunate. But I'm hoping that we don't have to go through another trial. That would be so awful for everybody. I think I might have to kind of no celebration dinner for anyone. We might be like Wendy and have to kind of barf in the bathroom, like charLIE said. It wasn't at the table. Like, was it at the table or was it in the bathroom? Was it? And then we were talking about it with the other night, our little girls' night out. Like, was it the alcohol that made her throw up, or was she really sick to her stomach? And we all agreed she probably drank too much. I said, yeah, that's what I thought. She just drank too much and threw up at the table. charLIE says, many of us have gathered here after spending. Yeah, I think I saw you in the chats, charLIE. I would be in the courtroom just clicking away, and then charLIE would ask a question. And there were some really good questions, by the way. I honestly really enjoyed being in the chats and of like, I was sometimes surviving the survivor chat was such a pile on. I had to get out because then they time you out and then nobody can answer the questions. And I like Carl's chat because sometimes you could kind of communicate with each other. And then mentors chat was really fun because like some of the OGs were in there, like Skeeter Girl and Dawn and 5 Car 5. And then I think I saw charLIE in there and Judy, and everybody was just saying some really, really good points. And Scott says, in hindsight, perhaps Sarah would have been better. I have to politely disagree. Like I said before, I see a lot of myself in Sarah Dugan. Like, I have a lot of nervous energy. Like, look, I touch my hair. There's a lot of nervous tics. And, as a female, the more relaxed you are, the less filler words you use. Like, for example, I don't thrive in that, but I'm working on it. These are things that I think that if you were to sit there with, like, for instance, like I took a Toastmasters class where they have someone who counts the number of times you say those words and how wordy you are. And I think that Georgia has a way of being less wordy or less nervous and gets her points across. And a little more seasoned. But Judy, how was the jury reacting to Georgia? Was anyone in the courtroom this morning? Harley. I think Harley was. Tell us about it. All right. I guess, Judy says, thank you. I will listen, but I need to get back to the hotel. All right. So she'll listen later. And I actually invited Judy on this live, but we didn't get to do the live stream. I had a few questions. I'm sure I'll ask her on her channel. And oh, you did see me behind charLIE. Listen, that was not like me being some kind of like egotistical person. I got dressed up just because I wanted to look like baseline okay. I thought I was going to see maybe a second part of the George's questioning. Didn't happen. I just ended up just the first seat I could grab. And it was interesting to hear that gasp that charLIE heard when they said guilty of murder or innocent of, murder one. And he put his hands in his face and just like, oh my God. It was almost like just went through all those emotions. That was priceless to see. And then Cece Orleans just came from your channel. Oh my gosh. You have me in tears laughing, the comedy videos and all your commentary. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I just, hey, I just strive to find truth on this channel. And me and my mom have had, such aha moments with the phone call logs and the jail records. And I've just had a lot of fun bringing more information to you all. And this great group of people has been so wonderful. AA, you should visit FSU campus. Yeah, I was wondering, like, what should I do today? I honestly think I'm probably just going to go get my workout clothes on, go work out, then maybe just do a little window shopping in some of, like, the boutiques around here. And I'm just asking everyone, like, is anyone going anywhere? And I don't think anyone really is. I think we're all just, like, tired and hungry. I think Surviving the Survivor went home to Miami, and I think everyone's just kind of taking in this weekend and getting ready for their flights. And will Katie be free of charLIE's guilty? Okay. No. And they asked, Rashbaum asked the appellate lawyer. I guess he's some sort of appellate lawyer. I don't know who that guy was, but he might have had something to do with Katie. And he said, so Katie will go free. And they were totally joking. He's like, yeah, no, there's no way Katie can go free. I don't know, this legal stuff was so over my head, and I was trying to find out on Carl's channel if he knew anything. Yeah, the defense theory is utterly ridiculous. I agree, Scott. There's not one single excuse for not going to the police. Yeah, not one. If these jurors are so swayed by this, I can't believe they're not going to acquit him, guys. There is no possible way. But if there's a hung jury, I don't know which jury it will be, or if God pray that it's not a hung jury. I don't think the Markels need to go through that. All right. Legal terrorism. I think that's what you were trying to say. Yeah, this is legal terrorism. Agreed on that one. He said stuff that was BS, and she didn't hit him with what he just, it's so hard to reiterate back to him what he had said and then try to pick it apart as a lie, because he doubled down on it, and he would just say the same thing again. I think she just got so tired of it. I don't think that there is a person alive who probably just would have wanted that to be over, unless it was like Carl Steinbeck up there and just rehearsing and doubling down back. But I think Georgia kind of picked her battles with the statements that she wanted to kind of try to reiterate back to him what he said. So let's see. Is Judy doing something later? I guess Judy might be doing a live later. I hope she does. I want to hear what she thinks. Very well done, Susan, sitting on them. I was so happy when I heard. Okay, I guess I missed that comment. He gaslit the heck out of everyone. That's the perfect word, perfect verbiage. This was legal gaslighting. He absolutely just poured flames on what is already just this case has been just such a dumpster fire of just frustrating personalities. I hate it. So she said, talk to Dan's family and just recorded something for my channel. Oh, good. Judy, I couldn't be happier for them if they get this verdict. And I'm so glad for the sentiments I've shared with them, and I wish them nothing but health and light and love. I really, really mean it. So charLIE's been full of crap his whole entire life. 100%, 100,000%. So the door to the courtroom is already locked. I know, I just missed the boat. But see, you know what today got me to do? Got me to be here with you all. I went in there, I got a few little tidbits of information. I got to sit through that meeting, take a little bit of notes. I'm a little worried that they might try to do some kind of curveball over the weekend for like a mistrial. That would be absolutely horrific. I hope that that's not going to happen. Has anyone said how the jury reacted to Georgia? I haven't heard yet. And then Judy says, I came back after lunch and the charge conference was okay. So that's what I was sitting through. The charge conference was when charLIE gasped, and I want to watch that moment over again. If you guys can watch it, where he just kind of like, when he says guilty and they're just like it just sucked the air out of the room. Guys, it's going to be such a great moment. Anyone who can be there for that, I am so envious. All right, so let's see here. The Dolce Vita transcript, charLIE asked Katie if any of them took any of the money when she delivered it to, after she left charLIE's house. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, this extortion, this double extortion, there are so many holes in it. I mean, if we had had time to prepare, that's another thing. I think that this case, in certain days, you could see that the state wasn't prepared that this extortion was going to explain away the stapled money, and there was something for every piece of evidence to explain away. And I just feel like we were a little bit blindsided, and it was like I think Carl Steinbeck said, trial by ambush, or mentor lawyer said the trial by ambush. We were totally ambushed. It just felt so unfair. Yeah, I was surprised that Georgia kept letting charLIE ramble. I know. But I spoke to Georgia, and John Steinbeck had encouraged me to ask Georgia if we could ask charLIE to not mumble and to speak up, because he was talking in that monotone, kind of Michael Jackson, drugged out, rambling tone, and we were having a hard time hearing him clearly. He wasn't speaking loud enough, and I think that she probably called him out on it and just kind of got sidetracked. And I think that there were probably a million different things that she was thinking about other than trying to stop him from speaking, because maybe she thought he was going to share something incriminating. Yeah, my mom is on the spot with this hatred of charLIE. Yeah, it's okay to hate this person. It's okay to hate charLIE. All right, so Harley said he was outside of the courtroom. Harley, did you see anything? Okay, so Judy says she's going down the elevator. Yeah, I had this same kind of like FOMO. I missed this morning. I didn't even know if I could walk in there, and let's see what Harley says. I missed the whole thing this morning, but I saw it online, and I think I would have been too nervous to sit there. I was so nervous for the state, and I kind of like walked past, you're right in the courtroom with the jurors and everybody, and I walk past everybody and I just think, gosh, this is so nerve-wracking. You can really hear a pin drop, and I think that everybody just did the best that they could, and now we're just going to have to wait. And I think the worst thing that could happen this weekend is that they file something for a mistrial or something. They're probably looking for anything. That's why I'm really glad none of us spoke to the jurors or anything. Just they're going to look for anything that they possibly can. And so Dawn's listening to the cross. Yeah, I'm going to rewatch it. I'm probably going to go get on a treadmill or an elliptical and just plug in and watch it again, because I definitely don't want to watch Rashbaum's when he's asking charLIE those questions. It was just so sickening yesterday. I was so glad yesterday was over. And let's see what Stella says. He's able to get people under his spell. Yeah, and just kind of like Michael Jackson or other criminals who kind of got away, like O.J. Simpson, kind of just like this manipulative character. If he gets away with this, like imagine if he got away with this like Casey Anthony style. I think I would literally barf. I cannot even imagine. And in fact, at CrimeCon, I stood next to Casey Anthony's bodyguard, and he said in the beginning, when Casey Anthony was telling all those lies in her story, he didn't believe it. He just said, he told me there was more to the story. In fact, he told me that she actually led the police to where the body of her baby was. And nobody knows that. He told me this crazy fact, but probably not even supposed to say it, but they couldn't let that fact out because the public would have been so outraged. But let's pray that that doesn't happen. That would be a travesty upon extortion on extortion. That would be a travesty on top of a travesty. charLIE's been studying this case all night, day and night for years. Yeah, I saw that in his jail files. Met multiple requests for his headphones and his the wiretap recordings. He had this little tablet with earbuds, and he could just listen day and night. And he probably took notes. And like this was, I said I love you to Katie because she needed to believe it and not kill his family, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? The irony of this would be, the best question I think George asked is like, aren't you worried about your family's safety now that you've told little poor Wendy? I honestly, even though this extortion isn't true, I think that they all will have to watch their backs. All the lives that they've totally ruined with the Latin Kings and everybody else in their family's reputation is done. And okay, so Stella says there's tons of holes in the defense. And if it ends in a mistrial, it won't be because there isn't evidence. It will be because he managed to manipulate some of the jurors thinking he's a victim. Oh my God, Stella. I hope that doesn't happen. That's a really good point. Yeah, just manipulative AF. Just manipulative as hell. He was lying for his life. Yes. Anyway, so charLIE and Donna lie very believably. Oh, I forgot to tell Judy I'm not in the lobby. I asked Judy to be on the show in the lobby, and I'm not there. I did not get good Wi-Fi down there, and then the lighting was not very good. Okay, so Scott says charLIE and Donna lie very believably. Heck, Donna had me going for a while. Yeah, what if I really do think that we'll see Donna on the stand? I've had some inside information of people's opinions, like talking to some of the corrections officers and things, like my own little question and answer to people in the courthouse, and they think Donna's next. And one of the corrections officers seemed to think it wouldn't be Harvey because they think he's a little more insulated. But I think that I trust their instincts, and these were people like the corrections officer that told me the information about charLIE, asking about the van taking him to South Florida. He seemed to he actually was on Trescott working on a shift in 2014 when Dan Markel was murdered. So he has a lot of information about the case. And this person, I will not ever say their name, I don't even know this person's name, but was definitely thinking that Donna is next. And if that's true, let's just hope that the momentum of a conviction from charLIE will mean that Donna can, have the same exact defense, and that the state will now have time to better prepare to then you guys will see Sarah Dugan just attack Donna. That's definitely worth another trip to Tallahassee for me. So anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else. I love all of your questions. I'm definitely interested in talking. Let's see. In the end, it comes down to logical versus emotional. Georgia can't change the guy's personality. Some people like criminals when they're charming. That's the root. Yeah, it would have to be a juror who just knows that charLIE is guilty, but doesn't want to see him go to jail. And that's what I worry about. I will tell you guys straight up, I did not see any females in this jury that looked like they were under his spell, or even found him attractive in any way. These women look like they saw through his bullshit, but maybe in the back of their mind they might struggle with putting him in jail for life. I think that that's probably what the jury is. If anyone's a holdout, it's just that he put up a good fight, and I think that that's what's probably scaring the state and everyone right now. I'm not pro-Israel. You can't claim that which doesn't belong. Okay. Hey, listen, not everyone is a Zionist. I understand. We want peace in the Middle East. Absolutely. I think it's just good to pray for peace and the end to terrorism. So chummy with you, with your extortions, your extorter's husband. Yeah, he was so chummy. Sorry, I cannot. My head is like Jello. It's like scrambled eggs right now. That's what I was saying to Fancy and Judy the other day. So yeah, he was so chummy with Katie and her extorting husband, who's not even her husband. I mean, they lie about everything. Who calls somebody their husband and they're not even married? It's just so gross that they were all in this threesome. Is so disgusting. charLIE could have testified at Katie's first trial to attest to her innocence. Wow. What a nice friend. They're buddies for life, and he didn't save his buddy, his old pal. He'd rather save his butt in the Adelsons. All right, so I think George's cross was good. Yeah, I think they had a script, just like charLIE had a script. I think that they were kind of taking maybe sleep deprived, taking a piece out of charLIE's playbook of just reading him a script and then him anticipating these questions and answering them. And honestly, I think the worst thing that could have happened is Georgia would stumble or look tired or get agitated. And I just don't think we saw that. I think she was stable. I think she was cool, calm, and collected. And for me, she gets an A. Maui Swift. It was outrageous that it's outrageous that he assumes that everyone is stupid except for him. Yes, and that's gaslighting, guys. Oh, he gaslit everyone, and that's where I think that they lost respect for him. He's not smarter than Georgia. He's not smarter than everyone else. He thinks he's got an honorary law degree I could see him, like, the wheels in his brain were turning during that meeting. And he was just, like, all that legal jargon was just going over his head, and he just was sitting there trying to fit in like he can save himself. So I'm getting a little tired. I'll wrap up. I'll answer a few more questions, but Georgia will finish strong with her closing remarks. Ooh, let's hope so. Do you guys think it'll be Georgia or Sarah? Sarah did a great job with the opening statement. I think as long as they stick to the script, even though they weren't expecting this theory, this defense, I think that they're doing the right thing. They got to stick to the script. It's too late to change it. Land was promised to them. Read the Bible. Yeah, Barbara, thank you. All right, Maui Swift. All right. Georgia has this. She will wrap it up in the closing. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's just good to have a team, to have somebody who has your back, and Sarah Dugan is just there for, moral support. This has been Georgia's case for years. She has this case down, and she probably wants to be the one to drive the points home, and we'll be watching and waiting. So yeah, God, we're definitely getting a little bit interested in the Israel chat, and I love your thoughts and prayers for Israel. Thank you all for that. I feel like Georgia has the evidence on her side, and she didn't feel like she had to be very aggressive. Well, I think Georgia was criticized in Katie's trial for being aggressive with her language about, that juror said she didn't like how she called Katie baby's mama, or said cash tips and stuff were a little bit suggestive. But I think that this case is so salacious that it's almost like you have to kind of go there to, how are you going to reiterate these themes and keep a straight face? It's too crazy. And I honestly give her credit for keeping so calm and cool and listening to people's feedback, because that's the right thing to do for her. Yeah, Don says, still listening and hoping she takes the maestro's ideas straight on. Yeah, I think it's definitely too late now. Whatever is out there, it's like we can't. I like when she said, putting the toothpaste back into the tube. It's like once the feathers are out of the pillow, it's like you can't put them back in the pillowcase. It's all in retrospect, and she's the prosecutor on this case, and she did the best job with the information that she had at the time, the best that she could with that information, and without knowing their defense theory. She went into it and she did a great job, in my opinion. I think the closing arguments might be really intense if Sarah's doing. Yeah, her temperament is just intense. She's an intense lady. I haven't even really seen her kind of crack a smile. In fact, she might kind of like smirk, or she's very, very, very poised. I don't know if that's the right word. You guys can think of a better word. Like, her temperament seems very, very just unamused by anything, but seems like she could get rattled. But I think if she channels it like she did in her opening argument, I think she'll be fantastic. And who thought Casey Anthony would walk? Nobody. It was just insane. They had enough evidence, and then her story about the father's child abuse and that the father did it, and it's one of those. This is going to be like one of those head scratching cases where charLIE coming up with this harebrained scheme defense at the very end just threw us all for such a curveball, and some of us were anticipating it, but let's hope that he doesn't walk. But anyway, you all, I think I'm going to go take a little walk and maybe go for a little shopping and you know, kind of check out in my hotel. And I'm going to just take in this trip and maybe rewatch George's Cross. And I hope you all watch the proffer that Mentor posted, Katie's proffer, and some new information about Donna dropping off the money and washing it. And so I'm working on a video about washing the money, and then the I love you texts, which I think that'll be the slam dunk, swoosh, touchdown. I think they're going to get this, guys. Just keep the faith, and I think it's natural to worry, but he's not O.J. Simpson. He's not Casey Anthony. Let's not add him to the list, right? All right. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing, and it's so fun to hear your thoughts. And prayers for the Markels, prayers for Israel. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.